Hatching right now.
Ah, yay. Not that much. Oh, there's the queen too.
Yep. That's Rockstar's genetics right there.
Ooh. What are we naming this one? Hey friend, welcome to March. I am so excited because bee season is almost upon us, but March is a very, very crucial time for beekeepers. A lot of times, once it starts getting a little bit warm, we're like, okay, we're in the clear, we got all the hives we're gonna have for the summertime, but I just want to remind you guys that this is actually the most crucial month from now until April for your bees. Oh, she's right there. Ah, it's Purple Queen, Vipladoo. So let's go over some of the things that you need to be doing as a beekeeper and some of the things you should be looking for in your colonies. And the first thing is you need to make sure that you are feeding your bees like crazy this month. This is the month that your bees are going to start producing brood. They're going to be laying out all of their bees for the springtime. One of the downsides about acmes.
Yeah, I should put the bottom on it. She did good.
And because of this, a colony can expand very, very, very quickly. They can pretty much triple in size in just a few weeks. So that means there's going to be more mouths to feed, and on top of that, there's going to be more energy required in order to rear that brood and make brood food. So the biggest thing this month is to make sure you are feeding your bees. But not only because they're expanding in size, but also because we have quite a few cold snaps during this time. And what's going to happen is if you have a cold snap, and there are brood on a frame and they're only staying in that one location in the hive because there's brood there that they have to keep warm. If you have a cold snap and you don't have food directly right next to them, they're not going to have any food. So they're going to have isolation starvation where they could die even if there was like a full frame of food, just one frame over. I've seen it so many times. March and April are really big kickers for this. So just be aware of this. Make sure you are feeding them. Make sure you know where your cluster is and where the food is in the colony if they're going to be able to get to it. But mostly just keep food directly on them. And also, one thing that I have noticed, what I'm talking about here is that on warmer days, it was 60 degrees this day that we were going into these colonies, and we were already starting to see some robbing. So that hive on the very end has some frames in it that do have honey on it and some open frames, and we've been seeing so many bees going over there and trying to get into it and rob out some of the frames. We opened it up a couple days ago and there were a ton of bees in there. So keep in mind that there will be some robbing during this time on warmer days. So don't take off any of your entrance reducers. Keep all of those on that you've had all winter. So that way you can prevent any weaker, smaller colonies from getting robbed out. Now, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate because we are going into these colonies, yes, in March, and yes, it was 60 degrees, but that doesn't mean you should be digging through your colonies the way we are if you're a backyard beekeeper. Wait. Oh my God. Is that a quality alert sheet? Yeah. Oh my God. You just had that chilling in your truck?
It was from my orientation.
That's hilarious.
It's thrown in the back.
I was like, wait, that looks familiar. So the only reason we're opening up colonies like this is because we are going to be rearing a lot of queens very soon and making up nukes. So we have to prep everything so that it is ready and the bees are building up on the frames that we have designated to be able to move into other hives. We have frames that we can split in half and move into little tiny mating nukes. So making sure that these colonies have those half frames, moving some of them into insulated colonies so that they can build up better if need be. So yeah, that's the only reason why we are digging into those right now. So just enjoy the beautiful look of these bees and these colonies in the frames. But yeah, don't do as we do. Oh, right there. I didn't know you had any more that were still dotted. I thought the one that ended up in my car was the last one.
Oh, she is doing that hard.
Is she? That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't really see.
She got an egg coming out of her now.
Oh, she does. Oh, hey.
Okay, let's not over anymore.
Yep.
She's like, hey guys, I'm on the toilet.
Yeah, yeah, she's starting to get a little antsy. The sunset right now is making the colors pop so nice. This is what I miss about beekeeping. It's the way the frames look.
I don't try to break them apart when like.
Oh no, I don't either. I usually keep them together.
Right
Surprised you have 10 frames in there though instead of 9.
I usually do keep only 9 in during the winter, but it seemed like they had enough space, so I just kind of rolled with it.
Around mid-March is also the perfect time to start throwing on pollen patties on your colonies if you are going to utilize pollen at all this year. So the whole reason for putting a pollen patty on your colony is when the bees have that pollen coming in, that tells them, okay, a nectar flow is going to be coming very, very soon. So you're kind of hijacking their natural processes by giving them pollen, making them think that a flow is going to start coming soon. So meaning they're going to start building up their brood nest even faster.
Okay, she's selected for a defender hive next one day. That's
Okay.
the thing that has to happen.
Perfect.
You found me in the woods, like I'm.
Ooh, they're not happy.
Just gonna have to let that.
Oh. Oh. The buzz is getting louder. Oh. If you need my help with anything, by the way, just let me know.
Alright. I gotta get used to that.
But the only kicker for this is if you do throw on pollen patties, just keep in mind that you will have to make sure you are feeding like crazy. Literally, the main thing I can say for the whole month of March and April is just feed, 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 especially if your colonies are light. If you have a double deep and you have quite a few honey stores still left, then you're most likely going to be okay. But for single deeps and colonies that are low on stores, you're going to have to feed a ton. So my favorite way to feed is by putting on blocks of fondant on the colonies, but for a quick and easy way, you can just throw on sugar like we are here. This is called the mountain camp method, and the bees will slowly moisten this as they need it and as they use it.
It's hatching. There's literally brood hatching right now.
Ah, yay. Not that much. Oh, there's the queen too.
Yep. That's Rockstar's genetics right there.
Ooh. What are we naming this one?
Maybe just because I haven't seen a bee in a long time, but like these bees look like extra colorful for some reason. I miss that color.
That's beautiful bees.
You do. You 100% do. Could be sunset too, though. Sunset makes all the colors look beautiful.
Or it could just be from winter being gray and colorless, so then when you finally see color, you're like, oh my god.
Now for the one that I don't know if you want to. Hold on to your knickers. These are the ones that make me feel better when they sting me, but it's like a love-hate relationship. She was the first queen I made last year. She's never been split, she's never been touched. I only checked her like 4 times just to make sure that she was still there. What's that? She's going into defender hive.
These don't seem that bad so far.
They're actually doing pretty cool
I
right
mean,
now.
they're ramping up a little bit, but not as bad as the other ones.
Well, I was really nice to one the other day. I took that's the video of one on my YouTube or Facebook.
Mm.
So she followed me around the yard, and I think they realized that I wasn't a threat, and I keep giving them food.
Mm. Trying to stuff that sugar in the cells.
We gotta rotate boxes before this is all done.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of honey up in this box. Oh man.
Ooh, that's a nice looking frame of bees. And they got lots of food left. Wow.
That's the frugality test. is also Rockstar's line now.
Okay.
I had to secure her line at the very beginning. Ooh, there she is.
Let's see. Does she have any eggs? There's some brood right there. So she probably has eggs in there.
One of the things that is a really good idea to check for in March is to, if you have a double setup hive where you have 2 boxes, check to see how heavy the bottom box is in comparison to the top box. So this time of year, most likely your bees are in that top box. They're rarely ever in that bottom box, so they're going to be rearing a lot of brood in that top box. But sometimes you'll find that your bottom box will be completely full of honey. That is what happened here. This whole entire bottom box, you can even see all of the comb, the capped honey that is in all of these frames.
They got honey on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, you can even see it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the whole thing is full.
Yeah, my bees don't really mess with the stores like other bees do. That was one of the main things I really cared about was like, oh my god, like lift that up.
Yeah, that's heavy.
But this whole entire bottom box is full of honey. So you can switch your boxes so that you put that bottom box on top so that if the bees do have a cold snap, it's always easier for them to go up than it is for them to go over. So any other bees can go up and get food and bring it to the cluster if need be. But also this is how you're going to want your hives arranged for the springtime anyways, because the bees do better when they can build up versus building down. I did experiment with it a little bit last year, and I'd like to experiment with that more just to see what happens if you do have a box in the bottom for them to build down into. But for the most part, they always build up, so yeah.
Rest in peace, Connie.
Connie.
Connie's the very, very, very beginning of Rockstar's marathon. I don't even know how to get her into a defender hive.
Oh, that's right, because you didn't put any of those half frames in there.
No, I mean, she's such a big hive.
Well, you want to take the whole hive.
I could actually divvy up some of her resources. Alright, so she's gonna become liquidated. But just because Zipladoo deserves to go to the strongest hive in the yard, and she's a Rockstar daughter. You cool with that? Can we look that through? Is that like,
Yeah, I'm
like
sure I
fuck
could probably
people?
try to. Yeah.
Be like, hey guys, everything's subject to change. Beautiful.